I'm so overheated. I don't need your body heat.
Aw.
No.
Very
I just got out of
unhelpful.
the shower and I was like all super hot, but I had to blow dry my hair, and so I'm like roasting. Like,
Oh,
like
I gave up on doing anything involving heat with my hair a long time ago.
literally anywhere else but on my body. You have this whole place. Pick a spot. Pick a spot that is not on me.
What does your shirt say?
Um, Cornhill Arts Fest. Yeah, go away.
Fun.
Cornhill Arts Festival 2022.
I love it.
Yeah, it's big.
Welcome, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I say things now. But anyway, resume the conversation.
Oh, I was just about to say that it's a big arts festival that we have here every July, but we haven't had it in 2 years because of COVID. But I ran the 5K that they had for the arts festival on Sunday, which is the first time they've had the 5K in like 20 years. So then I went to the festival afterwards, and I was like, that's a dope design. The
That
way
is
they
pretty
have the
baller.
corn and the curly green, yeah,
That
and
is
V-neck.
pretty baller.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I love V-neck because I get weird when things touch my neck. So
Yeah, I was sold the second I saw the V-neck. I'm like, and that is mine.
I didn't know you had a
they
preference.
V-neck crew hood,
Much nicer.
crew sweaters.
Well, that's not on the document, but now we're gonna talk about it because I
V-neck versus crew-necks.
yeah, I hate V-neck shirts.
Interesting. Why?
I don't know. I just feel like they look so weird on me.
Okay, wait. Can I kind of like add my 2 cents on V-necks versus crew necks?
Yes,
Because
that's this whole podcast.
Because one is more comfortable, but one, in my opinion, looks better. This to me looks better. This shirt, I like how this looks better on me. But when you're wearing a t-shirt underneath your shirt, especially if it's like hot and things just kind of get stuck together, having that space in front of your neck, especially when nobody's going to see it, is really nice.
Yeah, okay, like for an undershirt, that I get, but like as an actual fashion statement, I look so weird in V-necks. I simply do not do it.
I feel like V-necks look better on women than men for some reason.
I agree.
You know, I don't know what it is, but like, we had T-shirts made for the suicide prevention walk last year, and I gave everybody the option. You could order a crew neck or a V-neck. I made 2 versions of the T-shirt, and all of the women chose V-necks, and all of the men chose crew necks. And I was like, that's an interesting. But I think somehow it just does look better. I don't know if it's something like we just expect women to have more exposed. Not that this is a low cut or anything, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm no expert. I don't know.
I like it because sometimes I feel like shirts are choking me, even if they're just touching me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I love a good baggy shirt, like as is being demonstrated here. Also, Zach, you remember this shirt?
Oh yeah.
From our Lake George trip, where I wore this
made a friend.
exact outfit and didn't think about putting sunscreen on, and then just had like a ring of sunburn around my body. It was super cute
belt.
moment for me. Yeah, essentially.
But you also met your twin. With the
I
same
did. We
exact-
found another person wearing the shirt, which was fun.
like same shirt.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I love a good baggy shirt, as has clearly been demonstrated over the course of this podcast, and also just generally over the course of you two knowing me. But I don't know, I feel like I look weird in V-necks.
Never seen you in one to be able to provide.
There's a reason for that.
I bet you don't, though. Just like you
I
think you look weird without your
appreciate that.
glasses, but you don't.
I appreciate that, thank you.
We're always our own worst critics.
Very true. Also, I feel like I encounter them so much less, because I wear a lot of, like, shirts that have, like, bands and stuff that I like on them, or, like, shirts that have TV show logos, and, or, like, I have, like, so many shirts that I've bought, like, at, like, concerts, or, like, at various musicals that I've gone to see, and there's never a V-neck. It's always just a, like, standard basic t-shirt.
I
But
know,
I
which
think
is why it looks like. Sorry, Zach.
No, you're good. I think that's because like that's like the more universal shirt, and so everybody's gonna wear it. But
Well, yeah, and I think it has something to do with, again, it seems to be, and this is just my anecdotal observation, but like women tend to be drawn to V-necks more than men, and most products tend to be designed around men.
Yeah.
You know, because when we talk about universal, what we're really talking about is, you know, the male sizing or design or whatever.
Which is such BS, but it is the world that we live in.
Yeah. I know. The things that cause me quiet rage on a regular basis. Just the everyday little.
I would agree. Zach, you had what you described as a heartwarming life experience in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Life affirming.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Yes, I was in... Huh?
Did I not say life affirming?
You said life experience. Which...
Oh.
That too. But it gave me life.
Yeah, and this was in bumper-to-bumper traffic in DC, apparently.
Yeah, on my way to work.
Hit me with it.
So, I'm driving, person behind me, just being a dick. Just laying on the horn real heavy. Like we're not all in the same predicament. And then decides to be one of those people who gets on the shoulder and flies up past everybody else. So he did. But here's the thing. Nobody let him back in. And because of that, he was eventually shouldered off by the people behind him coming off of the exit ramp and had to take the exit ramp that he clearly was not trying to take in the first place. Because we teamed up, we struck a blow against dick drivers.
Take that.
And it just made me so happy.
Honestly, that is absolutely wonderful, and I think we as a society need to come together to bully road rage assholes more.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I am definitely the person that does that. Like, I have intentionally, like, when you're going to merge and somebody tries to go around you, I have intentionally, like, covered both lanes so they couldn't do that and had them land the horn at me. I've definitely done that. But at the same time, I feel bad because what if that person does have some sort of legitimate emergency or something?
Okay, yeah.
I thought about that before where I was like,
that's like the implied, caveat, but odds are.
Yeah. That's my other thing. Every time it's like how when I'm driving and someone like tries to cross when they don't have the right of way, I'm like, hit me. Like, I'm like, I'll hit you, bitch, I'll do it. But then when I'm walking and I cross where I don't have the right of way and I stare at the car, I'm like, hit me, bitch, do it. You won't. So like I am either person. It's like when I like, especially if I'm like driving somewhere new that I've never been before and I like don't know which lane I need to be in and I'm like kind of like I'll get over in one lane and be like, oh wait, no, I don't need to be here. Like when I'm doing that, like I know that people are being like, oh my god, what's this idiot doing? But like I've had that experience so many times where I'm driving somewhere new and I'm like, oh god, I'm sorry.
The best part about that is when the people are driving next to you looking over.
So you just pull that piece of shit move. Expecting to see 100-year-old blind dog who's texting while driving and drinking a smoothie. But instead they see a 28-year-old healthy man trying his best.
It's me.
It's like such an internal struggle though. That's like,
yeah.
How dare you try to like get around me? That's never gonna happen. I'm like, but what if? But no, you can't. How dare you?
But then when you're trying to get around someone, you're just like, please.
No, yeah. I've definitely sort of done that. When people try to pass you, but they try to pass you using like an exit ramp lane.
That's annoying.
And then they can't get by you, and then because it's always so funny because they go flying up and then they reach where like the point of no return where you're either on the ramp or you're not, and they stop, and nobody's letting them in, and eventually you drive by them again, and you just look over, and it's like, see that car behind me? That could have been you.
I love all those memes where it's like when someone cuts you off and then you pull up to the same red light together and you're just like stare at them.
Now, to be fair, in that specific instance, if it really were some sort of emergency situation, they could have just gotten off at the exit and chosen a different route.
Yeah.
Because if it were really that much of an emergency, they wouldn't continue on. Because I was thinking about the number of times I've been driving somewhere, and I should have gone to the bathroom before I left, and then I didn't. And then I really had to go to the bathroom, and I was stuck in traffic. Like, then I'd be trying to find creative ways to hurry up and get where I'm going. But if it were that dire and there were an exit, I'm just going to take that exit and figure out, how to get to where I need to go or find a bathroom somewhere, So he had other options, essentially. And he chose dickery. That's the only word I got.
I like that. I think that's something we should start saying more. You heard it here first, folks. We're now referring to people being an asshole as dickery.
Is that not a thing people say?
Oh, this is the first time I'm hearing it.
It sounds very Shakespearean.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a thing people would say, I guess, so I don't know.
It's a nice Shakespearean insult.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played around with those like Shakespeare insult generators?
Yes, I love them so much.
So funny.
There's always a lot happening in those.
No, each insult, there's so much to unpack.
Right?
Like, yeah.
Alright. So the next thing I have is on a standard, like, computer keyboard, holding mine up to demonstrate, which shift button do you use?
I will so judge you if you don't say
So,
the
like
left
this
one.
one or that one?
Yeah.
It depends. Wait, no, hold on. I don't actually think about it.
Oh, he's gone. Okay, bye.
No, it's the left one.
Okay.
You what?
What?
I only ever use the right one.
Okay, wait, no, I'm gone again.
Okay, bye.
He just said it's the left one, so you're the one that's...
Absolutely
Who
not.
uses the right one? That's
Me!
Dog, that's mad. You need that hand for your mouse.
But, like, if you're typing a document, like, both hands on the keyboard,
Yeah.
you don't use the right one.
No. Honestly,
Never.
any
I
reason
usually forget that it's there. Like, every once in
I-
a while I look down, like, oh yeah, I have 2 shift keys.
The only time
I
I
use it.
ever use the left shift key is when I'm playing a video game where I have to shift to run.
I use it for punctuation because, like, the question mark is right next to it. So if I'm doing the question mark, I'll hit shift and then, because it's directly next to it. So it's easier to do that than...
This fascinates me.
You're breaking me. You guys just don't automatically use the left shift key?
I guess I do use both. I just use the left more.
I also was like, halfway through my elementary education, they kind of gave up on formally teaching us how to type.
They're like, computers are a fad.
It was more of a just like good enough,
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
No, that was cursive.
That too.
Cursive, they were like, this is gonna be obsolete.
But I did actually but the funny thing is I did actually retain cursive, but my typing stance is nowhere near like what it quote unquote should be by like any sort of formal standard.
See, this is one of those areas where age difference makes a big difference because they didn't teach us how to do that. We just kind of like, figured it out.
Wait, did
Yeah.
you guys not have like the box that went over the keyboard that you typed
They never
under?
did that. We never had the box.
We had the box.
Whack.
I mean, granted, our like
So that you
computer
could learn to
tech
type without
in
looking at the
person-
letters.
Yeah, it's like a box that goes over your keyboard, so you can't see it. Granted, our like computer education, like computer information teacher or whatever was like a fucking Spartan, but you know what? That's just kind of what we used.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, they never put the box over the keyboard for us.
I
Zach,
also
you look
just,
so
like-
disappointed by that beverage you just tried.
Disgusting.
What is it?
It's the like one of the Starbucks energy.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
I'm so
I got-
I've
sorry.
never had it, no.
I saw Starbucks and I saw pineapple and passion fruit and energy drink, and I was like, well, that says me all over it. And too much of a good thing is a real thing.
If it helps, I am also drinking something kind of gross.
Do tell.
I got a 6-pack of this beer because it's a Smores Lager, and like s'mores is like my favorite thing in the world. And I was like, I've had s'mores porters and s'mores stouts that I liked. I've never had a lager, so let's see how that went, and I took the first sip of it right before I came upstairs to do this, and I can only imagine what my face looked like.
Did you say no out loud?
I actually might have.
I know you too well at this point.
What was that? Was that yesterday? Or no? No, that was today, right? That Zach, you sent the meme in the group chat about the whispering that you have a PhD as you try to avoid picking up another card.
Yes.
And it said, at Brooks, this you.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there, my hands were full, and I just saw this you pop up on the phone, and I couldn't even see the image, and I just said, probably. Just...
Was it accurate?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I do, like, every time I'm doing something really stupid, I'm like, bitch, you got a PhD.
No, yeah, I like the one that I sent you almost the exact same thing on Twitter. It was like me holding up my left and right hands to see which one makes an L as I whisper, I have a PhD to myself.
That's what I was wondering, is this like a new thing? Is this a new meme format?
Quite possibly.
Because I was like, man, I've seen a few of these now.
I'm noticing the emergence of that, like, if I send you X emoji, it means XYZ.
Oh my god, yeah, that's so funny.
They have been interesting thus far.
Like, no, they crack me up. There's one that's like a burrito, and it's like, if I send you the burrito emoji, that means it's a wrap for your ass.
I am enjoying those. We'll have to link some.
That specific one, when you sent it, so I haven't told you guys yet, I went to the optometrist on Saturday, and apparently I do need reading glasses, but when you sent that one, I could not tell what the emoji was. I was like, holding my phone up like, and I finally eventually got the burrito.
Yeah.
And that made me very upset. I'm not old enough for that yet.
It finally happened. How do you feel?
Yeah, I thought that didn't happen until you were like in your like 40s or 50s. It feels very young.
You don't have any contacts or anything, right?
No.
Okay.
I've had 20/20 vision my whole life until I got COVID, and now there's...
That might have something to do with it, though.
Yeah, no. They were like, well, he looked at my eyes, he's like, you don't have any infection or scarring from COVID. So, apparently it's not related.
I have caught myself doing the thing my dad occasionally does when he's looking at his phone and he's got to like...
Oh my god. I love all those memes where it's like a photo of somebody doing that thing where they're like, adjusting their glasses and squinting or whatever, and be like, this is how your parents hold your phone. And then they hand it to their parents, and they make that exact face as they try to look at the meme.
Uh-huh.
Those ones always kill me. You're gonna have to get contacts now.
Who, me?
Yeah. You can't wear glasses.
Well, they're just for reading, though, so I wouldn't be wearing them all the time.
Reading contacts.
Yeah, and the really annoying thing is my eyes are 2 different prescriptions, so
cute.
I can't just, go to whatever random store and buy reading glasses. I had to order a pair. And of course I'm not going to get, the cheap ones. So they're going to take 2 weeks to come in. I hope they look as good as I thought they did.
Wait, but...
They're blue. Why not?
You're the one who can actually touch your eyes, though, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. How is it that the person... No, stop it. That's...
Oh.
That camera.
God,
how is it that
disgusting.
the person with 20/20 vision is the one who can, put in contacts no problem? That's
Yeah. It would have been no issue for me, but apparently my far vision is fine.
It is absolutely disgusting that you can do that, and I'm still not over it.
It does feel weird, though, because when you touch your eye, it gets rid of some of the moisture when you touch it.
Ugh.
Yeah, because it comes off on your finger.
Disgusting. Now you have
Moisturizing.
Now you have eye finger. Ugh.
What even is it? Like film? Like what would you like?
It's just like...
I'm sure there's a scientific term for the fact that your eye is wet. Which is an awful thing now that I've said it out loud.
Well, yeah. Well, no, there has to be, because every liquid in your body is not just a liquid. It has a name. It's saliva. Yeah. What is your eye liquid?
What happens if I just Google that right now?
It actually is referred to as mucus.
Mucus.
Okay.
Probably is.
I hate that, and now I don't want to confirm or deny that. I'm better not knowing.
Fine. I can Google it.
Oh god,
I think
damn
it's plasma, right? Let me see.
No, plasma is That's part of your
It's
blood.
just, like, in your blood.
Yeah.
Aqueous.
Oh! No, that's like
Like,
what actually
I don't know if
physically
I'm
makes
saying-
up your eye.
I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, no, that's inside of the eye.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
One of the couple things I remember from biology at various points in my education.
Vitreous? Oh, it's like a gel.
Yeah, that's like what
Oh,
your
no, but
eye
that's inside. That's inside. Yeah.
physically is.
Helps it maintain the shape. So gross.
I know.
Yeah, all I can
Yeah.
think of is like Carol with like the guys. Like
Oh my god. Rip to
Yep,
Carol.
it's mucus. It's mucus.
mucus.
Actually,
Just like
Blow your eyes.
like
that's
human tears are
disgusting.
mostly-
Stop it.
Human tears are mostly composed of water, mucus, and oil.
Ew.
Oil.
Yeah, and it also says during
Don't
sleep,
tell the
eye
US.
mucus tends to settle in the corner of your eyes. So that's when you have stuff in the corner of your eyes when you wake up.
Ew.
That's like hardened
Oh, the
mucus.
crusty shit that you.
Yeah, that's mucus.
God, you're disgusting. Actually,
It's like crystallized.
Oh my
The-
god, isn't it?
when I was a kid, my best friend who lived across the street, her dad is an eye doctor, which, like, if you were, like, I cannot imagine going into the medical profession, period, but like, that in particular, I cannot deal with. Like, slicing into an eyeball,
Yeah.
absolutely disgusting.
No.
But she told me the story once about how when he was a medical student, like, you could make, like, they would pay students to go into the cadaver lab at night and, like, extract eyeballs from corpses that had, like, that were organ donors. And he said there was some, like, tool that you had to do it with, and it just made the weirdest, most indescribable noise imaginable.
Have either of you guys watched Slumdog Millionaire?
I have not.
Yeah, but a long time ago.
There is, if like eyes are your thing, which they are for me, there is like eye stuff, and
That's like a whole.
it's so unnerving.
That's like a
like-
whole, like, subgenre of gore within
Yeah.
horror movies. Like, eye
Yeah.
stuff is, like, a huge problem for some people.
It's such a good movie, and it's definitely worth a watch. But like, there is eye stuff, and it's
I don't know if
I
I
do-
have anything in movies where I, like, immediately have to turn it off, but I remember in one episode of Last Podcast on the Left, Kissel was saying something about how, like, there was some movie where, like, somebody was, like, cracking someone's teeth with pliers or whatever, and he was just like, absolutely not.
you know how many nerves are in your teeth.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I have anything where I, like, have to turn it off, though.
Yeah.
Dog.
I feel like there's something that bothers me more than others, but I can't remember what it is.
Is it fingernails? That shit freaks people out.
Oh yeah, that's awful.
It's
Ugh. I mean, but I can't think of anything that's like, yeah, that's automatic off for me.
fingernails is awful, but I can at least like wrap my mind around it. Eyes, I can't do it.
I'm sure there's so many people who, like, had to turn off that first episode of Twin Peaks when he, like, had to, like, extract the little, like,
Yeah.
piece of
Yeah,
paper
like-
from underneath Laura Palmer's fingernails.
It's still okay. It's still gross. I'm not saying.
No, it can be
No,
gross
but-
without you having to,
like-
like, turn it off and never watch again.
But the worst thing about nails is that like nail stuff happens to you, where you get like a
Right.
splinter like deep in your nail. Like that actually like I don't know. Maybe that's why it's a little less scary for me, because I can like even though it's still I hate it hurts so much. But like
Yeah, but, like, it has happened. You can conceptualize it
Right.
more than, like, getting your
Right.
eyes sliced or something.
no. Oh my. See, here's the okay. Like in the tattoo world, people have tattooed eyes. You can get your eyes tattooed, and people have it, and I don't get it.
No, no thank you.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know if this is actually true or not, but there was a rumor that went around that's like apparently the skin on your eyelids is so thin, and that, like, those guys in Breaking Bad who had, like, tattooed eyelids, like, you have to put, like, a spoon underneath it, otherwise it'll go through and pierce your eye. But I don't know if
That's
that's
not
true or not.
It's not, because there is an episode, and so sad that I know this, but there is an episode of
I
Ink
mean, you're the
Master
one to ask. Of the three of us, you're the real tattoo guy.
yeah, there is an episode of Ink Master, which as inaccurate a picture of tattooing as Ink Master can paint sometimes, the actual techniques that they're using are real.
Yeah.
And in one of the flash challenges, they do tattoo eyelids. All the artists are freaked because they've never done that, and like it is thinner, and so like you do need to be careful, but you don't need to put anything underneath it if you're a good artist.
Yeah, I can imagine that being a daunting challenge.
Yeah, well, yeah, because there's so like your margin for error is so slim.
Yeah,
like
pretty much
normally,
non-existent.
if your needle goes too deep, there's blowout. If you go too deep on eyelids, there's eye.
Yeah.
And then you have eye tattoo. So
Both really.
I mean, if you're a kind of person who is getting your eyelid tattooed, I feel like if you're that committed to having that kind of art on your face, I feel like a bonus eye tattoo might not be the worst thing in the world, but I'm also just making assumptions.
Man, I'm just imagining the healing process of that, though.
Right? Because you can't stop blinking. It needs to happen.
Yeah, you.
yeah, the tattoos that tend to blow out the most, even if it's done well, are the ones in like the crooks of your elbows, like the places
Yep.
where you have to move it, and like same like yeah, you can't not blink.
Yeah.
Like now, granted, the designs are probably simple enough that's not going to fuck it up too bad, but still.
Fascinating. Well, worth a Google for anyone who's interested. Or curious. Would we like to move on? We have any tangential thoughts or
Related to.
Gross.
related to literally anything that we just talked about?
Oh, I was like, what were we even talking about? We were talking about which shift key you use.
Again, I think it would be fun for us to watch an episode sometime and try to track the conversational thread on that can be that can finally be my reason to have like a bulletin board and connect things together with string. That'd be exciting. But yeah. I think you're a freak if you use the left shift key.
I use both, but the left is for capitalization and the right is for punctuation.
No. The right is for capitalization and punctuation, the left is for video games.
Plus, like if you're hitting like control shift something, the control key and shift key are right next to each other there, so it's easy to just.
I literally never do that.
I don't know if that's because you're a Mac person.
I'm not a Mac person.
You're not?
I've never owned a Mac in my life.
Maybe I assume that because of your phone.
Yeah, I've never owned like an Apple computer in my life. I have an iPhone, but also every single phone I've ever had almost has been a gift. And I kind of just got used to having an iPhone.
I think the reason I do it so much is because when I grade papers, I use track changes in Microsoft Word, and you can turn it on and off by Control Shift E and stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I know the key combinations I use in Word a lot. So maybe that's the reason.
Quite possible.
But I also only type with two fingers on my right hand. My middle finger and my thumb, that's it.
Is that the hand you broke?
Thumb's only with three. Huh?
Is that the hand you broke?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, interesting. So you have a fun little handicap there. Or
Yeah.
outside influence on your typing style.
Yeah, it's because my hand was messed up for so long, even after it healed, it didn't heal correctly.
So that was not always so that was not always your default stance on a keyboard.
Yeah, because it was broken right there, and so I couldn't use that release. I would just kind of.
Fascinating.
And still, that's how I type. It has been 15 years.
I feel like my default stance on a keyboard is influenced by the fact that I play a lot of PC games, because when I just sit my hands out on a keyboard, even if I'm going to even if I'm typing in a Word document, my left hand automatically goes to WASD.
There's there's a big chess streamer in the U.S. named Hikaru Nakamura, who actually used to be and still is one of the best players in the world, but he was playing in the candidates match to determine who would play Magnus Carlsen for the World Championship. And there's multiple gifs of him sitting at the board thinking, and just absentmindedly, his right hand just feels for a mouse. Like, I'll define it as the funniest thing. But like, there's multiple times he's just like clearly deep in thought, just like reaching for a mouse.
It's like me. I went to the movies the other day, and like there was a scene where I didn't quite hear what they said, and I'm like, "Where's the remote?" Like I honestly was like, "Can I get a replay on that?"
Oh,
'Cause
what
I
did
just
you
feel
see? I never asked.
Thor, the new Thor movie.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. I like to go like first showing of the day on a weekday sometimes. It was like me and one other dude in the whole theater. Great.
Always a good time. What day is it? 2 days. As of when we're recording this, 2 days, I think, until Marcel the Shell with Shoes on drops.
What day is it? Ooh, yeah.
Very exciting. I'm so pumped for that movie. I'm so excited. That's like... It's gonna be so good.
Oh, they should have posted show times then, probably. I didn't even think about it. I gotta check and see when they're showing it.
We should like go see it at the same like time on the clock, and then we can talk about it afterwards, so that we don't have to worry about spoiling it for each other.
Oh, very excited.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so... I cannot get over the fact that Isabella Rossellini herself is in that movie. Like, of all people.
It sounds ridiculous if you say it like, oh, it's a movie about a shell that they glued an eyeball and some shoes to.
Yeah.
Like,
And, like, she's one of those people who, like, just about for, like, the past couple of decades, everything she does, you're like, this might be it. Because she's very, like, super selective about, like, when and where she pops up again. So I'm like, is this it? Like, every single time I'm like, this might be it. Might be the last thing. Oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be real good. We'll probably wind up talking about it next episode. Anyway. So here, actually, this requires me putting something in the chat real quick. I absolutely love that I just opened the chat now, and it's not just the host chat. It's like the one that's in this video channel specifically, and it just says "Rip to Boris Johnson," which, like, so correct. But Zach, I think you meant to send that in the text only channel.
I think I did, yeah. That's not me. No, but literally, it was just me when I walked into the office, and the Washington Post was outside the door, and I was like, I was like,
no,
like,
I have sent, like, every single meme about the whole, like, Boris Johnson fiasco. I have, like, DM'd it to Tim Meredith, and one of the things I said was, like, this is what I imagine it was like watching the 2016 and 2020 presidential fiascos in this country from the UK. And he was like, yeah, pretty much. So now I finally get to see what that was like.
The man was, like, stepped on a rake every time he opened his mouth, and it took him this long to fucking, like... Oh, wait, okay, can I just geek out about politics for, like, 2 seconds?
Yes.
Because Boris Johnson... Okay, so basically here's what happened, right? There was, like, one last big scandal, and they just couldn't do it anymore, right? His party couldn't do it. And so he was giving, like, a press conference on a split screen addressing the scandal, and on the other screen was a live ticker in real time of cabinet ministers who were resigning while he was talking. and that's where, like, the 40 or 50 people came from, because they were cabinet ministers and administration officials who were resigning in real time.
Zach, I have a show you would absolutely love, and I will tell you about it after we're done recording today. Oh my god, that's fantastic.
When I was in London, one of our tour guides told me this thing, which I just suddenly remembered when you mentioned Boris. But they said, and I'm going to be hazy on some of the details, but they said something about, like, when he became prime minister, he insisted on a certain kind of tree being planted all around London. And I can't remember what kind of tree she said it was, but apparently, like, it's just insane with pollen, and it's making everybody sneeze all the time. And I was like, oh, I did notice I was sneezing more. I noticed a lot of people sneezing. He's like, yeah, no, it's these specific trees that he decided had to be there.
That's
bizarre. Yeah. And even people who aren't normally allergic to things, it's making them sneeze because the pollen's just over the top.
Crooks, you aren't a Pod Save the World person, right? You're Pod Save American Cricket. Love it. The title episode for their one on Boris Johnson was Boris Johnson Brexits.
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh my god. What a man. like
What a moron.
terrible for England, but just so funny to watch.
Again, this is what I feel like it had to have been like watching the 2016 election from the UK. Because
Yeah.
it is objectively ridiculous and hysterical.
Well, and here's the thing, right? Those timelines matched up. Were like, well, no, Boris Johnson had come to power, but they did Brexit, like in August, but before our election, and then they all regretted it, and everyone here was like, learn a lesson, people. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't go. And then we elected, So anyway.
Yeah, so. We're both kind of just staring at each other. Where's that? It's like a gif of like, I'm pretty sure it's Christian Bale and then Kermit, and they're just nodding at each other like. Hold on, it's probably on my phone. Let me find it. Put that in the chat as well, for reference for y'all.
I mean, I'm getting used to this beer, but it's still just I don't.
It's the same thing. I'm like slowly like not noticing the taste as much because
I just
like
have
I'm going
water, so I'm not having this problem.
I am 2 drinks and I don't have my fun. Yeah.
There
I
we
have
go.
my drink for energy. I have my drink for hydration, but I don't have my fun drink.
I actually only have 1 drink right now, which is kind of odd for me, but whatever.
I have
Especially
hydration
for
and fun.
a beverage woman.
I just have hydration at the moment, but that's because I was dedicating a lot of time to cleaning my room before we went on air.
I feel like there needs to be a 4th like hydration, energy, fun, or something, so that it can be like an Avatar style, like water, earth,
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, this is what I was talking about. This is what I feel like it was like. Just watching various, like, each person across the pond just watching the scandal happen on the other side. That's what I feel like it's like.
Wait, how do I?
You can open it on your laptop, bud. Upper right corner of the window here.
God. I see it.
Oh, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, just kind of like staring at each other as a scandal happens on either side.
Okay, yeah, now I see where I put it.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
only 4th beverage I can think of is medicinal. Like, drink a ginger ale to settle your stomach.
Yeah, okay.
Herbal.
Or like a cup of tea,
Yeah.
But that's my thing. What if, like...
The only other beverage purpose I could think of.
I feel like there could be too much overlap there. Because, like, if you're drinking tea for vibes, but you, like, it's also, like, peppermint tea, and you, like, have a cold or whatever.
But that just means you can pick which category that fits into and pick another beverage to fill the other one.
Okay, wait, actually, you're so right.
It's beverage fluid.
Have you ever consumed a beverage where it's just a single beverage and yet there are 2 such distinct flavors that don't seem to be meshing at all, that it feels like you're drinking 2 different things at once?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Because like when I drink this, it's like I'm drinking beer, but it's also like I'm drinking some sort of weird thing, but they're not like, it's like oil and water. Like they're not actually
So it would
combined.
be like if you took a sip of a beer and then you, like, just sort of a generic, like, beverage, and then you took a sip of, like, a Starbucks S'mores Frappuccino.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fascinating.
That's what it's like. I think that's why it's bothering me.
Hmm.
Because they just won't mesh, Like, if it's like a roasty stout or something like that, it makes more sense. I just got excited. I saw s'mores and I went blind.
Yeah, that tracks. That definitely tracks. Okay. Also in the channel chat, I guess, is that tweet I was talking about, which is a screenshot of a TikTok that says, artists be like, yeah, this is the greatest song I've ever made. Let's make it 1 minute and 22 seconds long. And I have noticed that a lot. Why do we think that is the case? Because frankly, my favorite George Harrison song is one of his shortest.
Too much of a good thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if it's because it's like... it's harder to write, like, 20 minutes of like absolutely banger material.
They just don't want to melt your face.
I want
One
them
of my
to, though, is my problem.
Beyonce is literally a minute. One of my favorite Beyonce songs is literally a minute and 8 seconds.
Okay, that song Higher by Rihanna, it's like a minute and 30 seconds. It's so disappointing. Because, like, it's such a banger song.
I actually saw this question in the doc a couple of days ago, and I've been thinking about it a lot. You'd think I would have some sort of answer, but like, I've been working on my paint by numbers, which is I can't wait till I have the glasses and I can actually see how horribly I've been doing.
Oh my god.
But, but I was sitting there, and just like listening to music on my little Bluetooth speaker in front of me, and then multiple songs in a row that were like way too short came on, and it was like, man, these are all just like fitting. Most of them were more like 2 minutes, but it's still like it doesn't feel long enough.
Yeah, like compared to some other like really short songs that are awesome, like my favorite George Harrison song is Run of the Mill, and it's fantastic. And it's like one of the shortest ones on the album. Like that it's on All Things Must Pass, which is also an album that has like 11-minute guitar jams. I'm like, what, can't we just have like the really, really great one be 11 minutes long?
The thing, right? I mean, we're assuming these are good songs that are just too short. What if we think they're good because they are short?
Yeah.
Like, if they extended it and added verses or whatever and made it a full, like, 3.5 minutes or whatever, maybe we wouldn't like it as much? Because
it's like, you're right. On the other hand, on the one hand, you are correct. On the other hand, I would trust George Harrison to have extended that song, because it's George Harrison that we're talking about.
Yeah, but thinking more broadly.
Yeah. Although one example of the flip side, at least in my personal opinion, I think Heat Above is probably one of the best Greta Van Fleet songs there is, and it's like 5 minutes.
Still on that playlist that came up yesterday and today. That playlist. I don't know how it got there.
But aren't you glad it did?
But every time it comes on, I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh yeah. Every time.
Yeah, I think our music tastes are slowly converging, like a little bit.
Yeah, one of the songs that came on, I don't know if you've listened to it more, that song, Love Your Friends Die Laughing.
I love that song so much. That's another song that's excellent, but is way too short.
Yeah, and that's why I said, like, I had just read the episode thing, and that song came on, I'm like, this!
That's it! That is precisely it.
Longer. I always forget the name of the song because it's like it doesn't.
And the fact that there's literally only like 2 choruses in that song is a hate crime against me specifically.
Yeah, I love that song. Every time it comes on, I'm like, yep, I'm gonna be belting this out.
And I play it like 3 times in a row because it's not long enough.
Yeah, and then it's just over. There were multiple songs in a row like that played when I was sitting there. I was like, man, it's like the shuffle knew that I needed to play these songs. There's a song by a band. There's a song by a band called Fight Like Apes, Tie Me Up With Jackets, and I absolutely adore it, but it's like short. So short.
I will have to look that one up when we're done recording. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole time I was sitting there listening to music yesterday, I kept coming across songs where I'm like, oh, I bet Bridget would like this. I should find a way to share this. Maybe make a new playlist or something. But
I love a good playlist.
Yeah.
An example of that for me, because I was just going through my own music. The Arctic Monkeys have some bangers, like D is for Dangerous and Library Pictures, which are both like not more than 2.5 minutes. But one of the most banger songs that is 2 minutes and 13 seconds, and yet it has the longest title I have ever seen in like an Arctic Monkeys album, or maybe ever, which is You Probably Couldn't See for the Lights, but You Were Staring Straight at Me. Which takes up like a third of the song to say, but
love it.
The Arctic have a lot of songs like that. Same with the Beatles, frankly, because like just the Beatles in general. So many of their songs are like not more than 2 minutes.
Yeah. Actually, hold on. I probably have another. I feel like the opposite of like amazing songs that are too short. Like ABBA is just the polar opposite energy because every song of theirs is like 5 minutes and almost every single one of them bops severely.
Red light indicates doors are secure. Oh my god, that song could play forever.
Who's that by?
Huh?
Who's that by?
Arctic Monkeys.
I have not listened to a lot of Arctic Monkeys.
They bang so hard.
By the way, completely unrelated aside, because you mentioned the length of the title of the song, I would like to know if there's a longer name for a band than The World is a Beautiful Place and I Am No Longer Afraid to Die. That's the name of the band.
I was about to say I don't know how, but they found me, but yours is definitely longer, and I don't even listen to them.
Yeah.
I've just seen them on people's playlists.
That whole thing. The world is a beautiful place and I am no longer afraid to die. That's the
One of the most beautiful Beatles songs, in my opinion. I'll Follow the Sun.
Literally.
A minute and 49 seconds. Like,
should be so much longer. I absolutely adore that song.
It's such a pretty song. And it just makes you so happy to hear.
This isn't quite a good example, but for whatever reason, even though this song is 3 minutes and 56 seconds, so like perfectly average length, it feels too short to me personally, and it is another ridiculously long song title by a band with a pretty long name. It's in the best case scenario, We Die at the Same Time by My Name is Ian. And it feels too short to me personally. And also, speaking of just
I get that song in my head every time I think of Magnus Archives.
I think about that for a lot of different pieces of media because I'm one of those people that like makes playlists for like character pairings that I like. Anyway, but the entire album that is from is the same title as that song, and all of the song titles are so lengthy. Like, either slugs are getting faster. I have to like, hold on, what's the full title of this? Either slugs are getting faster, or, and I have to wait for the title to scroll, or my brain is getting slower. Either slugs are getting faster, or my brain is getting slower. Parentheses, welcome. Welcome to planet Earth. Yeah, that's the song title.
Can we talk about Abbey Road, which has songs ranging from "I Want You," which is just under 8 minutes, to
Her Majesty, which is like 30 seconds.
24 seconds. 24 seconds. I love that so much.
Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, no, 24 seconds, and they make you wait after like 30 like 3 minutes of silence to hear it.
Yep.
There's a band called The Color and Sound, who, as far as I know, only ever released one EP. Mm-hmm. And every song is way too short, but every song goes so hard. And
I have infected your speech patterns. That is modern slang. It has happened on the podcast. I was right.
You finally noticed, because I did it multiple times, the one last week, and you didn't notice either time. But my theory is, like, because they never released another album or anything, I'm like, man, they burned out.
Yeah, or they're like, we can't top this.
Yeah, it was just so good. I mean, there's only, like, 4 songs on it.
Actually,
but every song is so short.
Got me thinking of Abbey Road.
Let It Be.
I feel like that's kind of appropriate length, in my personal opinion.
What, 50 seconds?
It's not that short.
No, I'm talking about the album, which has Dig It, which is 50 seconds, and it has Maggie May, which is 40 seconds. And Maggie May goes so hard in such a short amount of time.
No,
like,
you know what goes so hard? Golden Slumbers goes so goddamn hard.
It's like a minute.
It's literally a minute, and to even hear the full song, you technically have to listen to Carry That Weight, which, like, isn't always the vibe, because Carry That Weight is so loud.
Gonna carry that weight.
Yeah, actually, this is, like, How long
I
is
still
it?
haven't put together my Beatles Abbey Road diorama because this looks like a lot of work.
That's really cool.
It's gonna take forever.
Yeah, Golden Slumbers is 1 minute and 31 seconds.
Yeah, like
And that's, like, in my personal opinion, one of the best songs on the album. The end of fucking I Want You always scares me. Like, it always jump
Really?
scares. It always jump scares me because it, like, if I'm actually sitting down to listen to the full album, like, I just, like, get in, like, the zone and I'm, like, listening to it
Yeah.
slowly build and build and build, and then it just stops out of nowhere. It always makes me jump. And I don't know why.
I'm just scrolling through a playlist looking at how long some of the songs are.
Right? I'm, like, looking at, like,
the
all of the things I've been listening to most recently.
Beatles song that jump scares me the most is Mr. Moonlight, just because that first note goes so loud.
My man is screaming.
Oh yeah,
Actually, what albums have I been listening to lately? I have been listening to a lot of ABBA, which is really not, like, conducive to our conversation here because they have, like, they got those lengthy, like, disco tracks, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah, that
pretty
song
average
hit me in
length.
my spot's too short.
I feel like there's a Wallows song that I think is way too short, but I have to find what it is. Excuse me.
I think that Rubber Soul might be the most consistent album in terms of lengths, where all the songs look to be somewhere in the 2-minute range.
Yeah.
Lovely Rita might be the opposite end, where it's like the perfect balance, because I love that song so much, and it's not like too short, but also doesn't like overstay its welcome.
Yeah, honestly, now I'm trying to think of, like, again, my opposite ones, like
Hard.
Angel Eyes by ABBA. 5 minutes of an absolute banger. Also, a lot of Elton John songs, I feel like, are pretty perfect lengthwise.
The entire genre of punk rock generally has shorter songs, which sometimes, because it makes sense, because often they're, like, faster and...
Yeah.
But it's like, I was just scrolling through some of my playlist, and for example, like, the song Monosyllabic Girl by NoFX, which is just an absolutely amazing song, is 55 seconds.
Bruh. Yeah, here.
Or Freegan by Bigwig, which is only 35 seconds.
Oh wait, no, that's Eric Clapton's Angel.
So it's like, it's very much a theme in punk rock music. A lot of it's really short. Didn't realize it was that short. NoFX again, their song Bob, 2 minutes long.
Yeah, song length is pretty consistent on, like, Madman Across the Water. It's a lot of, like, the 4 to 6 minute range. What about everyone's most well-known album, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road?
I was really thrown off there for a second because I forgot you switched artists.
Oh, sorry, bestie.
Well, because I looked up and there was like a glare on it, so I couldn't quite see the album cover. I'm like, what Beatles album is that?
I think it's so funny that the A side of the first, like, disc in Goodbye Yellow Brick Road has 3 tracks on it. Because the first one is that double Funeral for a Friend / Love Lies Bleeding, and it's 11 minutes long. Oh no, this one's kind of all over the place. But also, as far as, like, 11-minute songs go, Funeral for a Friend bangs.
You just reminded me of the artist Funeral for a Friend that I haven't listened to in a long time.
Well, there you go. Something to do when we're done recording for tonight. Little trip down memory lane. Yeah, I think the reason that all of the, like, really short song, or, like, all of the, like, best songs seem so short is because, like, it's probably hard to, like, it's probably easier to create 1 minute of perfection versus 5 minutes of perfection.
So much more room to fumble the song.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it, honestly. That's my
I was
hot
trying to
take.
think if there's, like, a trend of shorter songs that aren't good. Like, if you can think of ones that aren't good. Like, I feel like it's often if you have an album where sometimes there'll just be like a musical interlude type song. Sometimes it's short. That's kind of boring. But I skip.
I mean, I feel like I encounter that more often on like Broadway cast recordings than I do on any of the just like standard like, you know, not soundtrack albums that I listen to, but that might just be sort of a genre, like the albums and artists that I'm listening to versus like a genre thing, because there are definitely some kind of musical interludes that I skip in like various Broadway cast recordings.
I mean, I definitely come across it. Maybe it's more genre based, like what I listen to, but like, for example, any Sufjan Stevens album is going to have a decent amount of, which I know.
Although, super specific problem to Broadway cast recordings is that they'll have these like lengthy songs that will like take like they have to like you can't split it up because it takes place all in like one scene, but like the melody and tempo will change a lot, so you have to listen to this entire like 11-minute song to hear the one like the one verse almost that's your favorite. Like, I'm thinking of like Thank Goodness and the Wicked soundtrack, because that one is pretty all over the place, like melody wise. I mean, it all works, it all flows when you listen to it, like, you know, as a whole thing, but some I like more than others.
I just mentioned Sufjan Stevens, and I realized you actually might enjoy him quite a lot, so I just started a new playlist called Hey Bridget, Listen to This.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom.
Really on the nose there, but...
Absolutely love it. Alright, got anything else, friends? I think we did good today.
Sure, yeah.
Would you like to express some dissatisfaction? This is an open forum.
Sure, yeah. No, we killed it.
I'm just weird because I was taking that opioid cough syrup for weeks, and I started sleeping until like noon or 1 p.m. And so my doctor was like, yeah, you should probably not take that anymore unless you really need it. So I stopped taking it, and now I'm sleeping like 3 hours a night. So I'm just, you know,
girl,
I gotta remember how to sleep without it. So
okay.
I'm sleep deprived.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna say maybe take a little nap is gonna be my advice to you.
30?
Whatever, man. I'm trying to help. All right. Well, thank you, friends, for fighting with us. As always, we appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will be back with some more funky, fresh arguments for you next week. Bye, everybody.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly, Zach Calderon, and Dr. Sarah Brooks. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98, at Zach Calderon, and at AuntSarahSat. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature or consider donating to our Patreon. Thanks for listening.